Good day guys, my name is Janel Montales Villanueva, and in this video, we were talking about the fingerprint classification. So what are we waiting for? Let's go! So before that, let us know what is fingerprint classification. Formula derived for a complete set of 10 fingerprints or the arrangement of fingerprint records into group or subgroups for filing purposes. So in primary classification, there are 5 things that we need to remember. First is memorize the pairing of the fingers and their values. So under this, we have to always remember the right position of fingers. So in right hand, finger 1 is right thumb, finger 2 is a right index, finger 3 is a right middle, finger 4 is a right ring, and finger 5 is the right little. While in left hand, finger 6 is a left thumb, finger 7 is a left index, finger 8 is a left middle, finger 9 is a left ring, and finger 10 is a left little. Next is a numerical value. Finger 1 and finger 2 has a numerical value of 16. Finger 3 and finger 4 is equal to 8. Finger 5 and finger 6 is equal to 4. Finger 7 and finger 8 is equal to 2. And finger 9 and finger 10 is equal to 1. Even numbers are the numerator, which are the finger 2, finger 4, finger 6, finger 8, and finger 10, while the odd numbers are the denominator, which is finger 1, finger 3, finger 5, finger 7, and finger 9.
In this chart, we can see that finger 1 is a radial loop, finger 2 is a plane whirl, finger 3 is an ulnar loop, finger 4 is an tinted arc, finger 5 is radial loop, finger 6 ulnar loop, finger 7 double loop whirl, finger 8 radial loop, finger 9 plane whirl, and finger 10 plane arc.
Second that you have to remember is the whirl type patterns, which are under this we have plane whirl, central pocket loop whirl, double loop whirl, and accidental whirl.
In this chart, the fingers have whirl patterns are finger 2, 7, and 9.
Remember, primary classification is a summation of all whirl type patterns in its composition.
Finger 1, radial loop, 0, place to denominator. Finger 2, plane whirl, numerical value, 16, place to numerator. Finger 3, ulnar loop, 0, place to denominator. Finger 4, tented arc, 0, place to numerator. Finger 5, radial loop, 0, place to denominator. Finger 6, ulnar loop, 0, place to numerator. Finger 7, double loop whirl, numerical value of 2, place to denominator. Finger 8, radial loop, 0, place to numerator. Finger 9, plane whirl, numerical value of 1, place to denominator. Finger 10, plane arc, 0, place to numerator. Therefore, 16 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 16 over 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 3 equals 16 over 3. And of course, never forget the pre-established fraction 1 over 1, which makes your primary classification to 17 over 4.
1 over 1 is a requirement of primary classification, and you cannot put 0 out of 0 or 0 over 0 or blank in the classification. Secondary classification. So in secondary classification, It displays just the rights of the primary classification. The arrangement of odd and even fingers as denominator and numerator in primary classification will be discarded during this classification. Secondary classification is divided into two groups, which is secondary capital letter group and secondary small letter. Secondary capital letter group is writing the symbol of the pattern that appeared in the right and left index finger, which is represented by finger 2 and finger 7. Only the symbol will be brought up to the classification formula. And here is the guide. Right hand is a numerator, while in left hand is a denominator.
In the chart, right index finger is plain world. Therefore, the symbols will be capital letter W and will be placed in numerator. Left index finger is double loop world. Therefore, the capital sign will be D and will be put in denominator.
Small letter group is fingerprints with plain arc, tainted arc, and radial loop in any finger except and index fingers constitute the secondary small letter group. Only finger 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Here are the symbols of small letter group. So plain arc represents by small letter A. Tainted arc represents of small letter T. Radial loop represents of small letter R, and no pattern was being represented by dash.
Finger 1, radial loop, small letter R, numerator. Finger 3, ulnar loop, just leave it blank. Finger 4, tainted arc, small letter T, numerator. Finger 5, radial loop, small letter R, numerator. Finger 6, ulnar loop, just leave it blank. Finger 8, radial loop, small letter R, denominator. Finger 9, plain whirl, just leave it blank. Finger 10, plain arc, small letter A, denominator. Then you got the secondary classification.
Next is a subsecondary classification. In this classification, it concerns only with the index, middle, and ring fingers of both hands, which represent by finger number 2, finger 3, finger 4, finger 7, finger 8, and finger 9. And here is the example of the subsecondary model. Fingerprint classifier must first count the ridge of the loops and the ridge tracing of whorls appearing on the above mentioned fingers. When loops are present, and any 6 finger ridge count is necessary. Capital letter I and capital letter O represents the ridge count, which means inner and outer. When whorls are present, whorl tracing will apply to determine whether it is an inner, outer, and meeting whorl. 3 above, inner or in front, is inner. 2 below, inner in front or below outside, is meeting, and 3 above, below or outside, is outer. Index, which represented by finger 2 and finger 7, 1 to 9 is equal to inner and 10 or more is outer. Middle, which is represented by finger 3 and finger 8, 1 to 10 is inner, 11 or more is outer. Ring, finger is represented by finger number 4 and finger 9. 1 to 13 is inner, for 10 or more is outer.
In the chart, finger 2 has plain whorl with 3 intervening ridges below. Therefore, it is outer. Finger 3 is ulnar loop with 18 ridge count. Therefore, it is an outer. Finger 4, tainted arc. Tainted arc is not qualified, so leave it blank. Finger 7, double loop whorl, 2 intervening ridges. Therefore, it is meeting. Finger 8, radial loop with 16 ridge count. Therefore, it is an outer. Finger 9, plain whorl, with 5 intervening ridges above, therefore it is inner. And now you got the sub-secondary classification.
Major division. In major division, it concerns only with the thumb of both fingers, finger 1 and finger 6. Right thumb is numerator, while left thumb is denominator. So under major division, it focuses on ridge count, whorl tracing, and it eliminates the arcs. So in ridge count, the number of ridge count S is represent for small, M represents for medium, and L represents for large. Formula of major division. Ridge count of left thumb 16 or less. Formula number 1. 1 to 11 is small. 12 to 16 medium. 17 or more large. It is used in right thumb. Ridge count of left thumb 17 or more. Formula number 2. 1 to 17 small. 18 to 22 medium. 23 or more large. Also used in right thumb. Formula of left thumb. Formula 1. 1 to 11 is small. 12 to 16 medium. 17 or more large.
In F1 or the right thumb, it has 22 ridge count.
So in Formula 1, 22 ridge count is belong to large.
Put it in numerator. Left thumb for the F6 has 15 ridge count.
So in Formula 1, it is medium.
Put it in denominator. Now you have the major classification.
Final classification. In final classification, counting ridge of loops and whorls from two little fingers in this division, whorls are ridge count, not ridge trace. Remember, if no loops are found, whorl will be considered and should be counting of ridge of whorl, not tracing. Only one finger is necessary in the final classification. If both finger 5 and finger 10 are loops, right little finger, finger 5 is priority. If the loop pattern found only the left little finger, then such ridge count will be the final classification. It is placed either in numerator or denominator sides depending on where it is taken. Right hand is numerator and left hand is denominator. Since whorl has two deltas, whorl on the right little finger is ridge counted from the left delta to the core, while whorl on the left little finger is ridge counted from the right delta towards the core. A whorl on right little fingers eliminates the needs to ridge count on the left little fingers. So as we can see in the chart,
Finger 5 is radial loop with 10 ridge count. 10 will be placed in numerator. Finger 10, plain arc, no value. Then, you get the final classification.
key classification, obtained by counting the ridge count of the first loop appearing on the fingerprint card starting from the right thumb or finger 1 down to the last finger of the left hand, with the exception of the little fingers, finger 5 and finger 10, since they use for final classification.
Right thumb F1 down to the last fingers of the left hand, with the exception of the little fingers F5 and F10.
So, no matter where it found, it is always placed at the numerator or above the classification line. Whatever the ridge count of the first loop appearing on the fingerprint card will be brought up to the classification formula.
In the chart, the first appearing loop was finger 1, radial loop, and has 22 ridge count. Then place it to numerator. Now you got the key classification. After completing all the classification, your classification line will look like this.
So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed the video and learned something from me.